Hello, today we're here with Jeff Fletcher, animator on channel 18. Uh,
Behind the scenes of Orange Tree with writer, director, animator Jeff Fletcher.
the hell you?
Behind the scenes of Orange Tree with
Wait. State your full name.
name was Julio Sevilla.
And Mr. Julio Sevilla, we understand you made a film called Jason versus Michael Myers.
Indeed, I did.
Could you tell us what inspired you to make this film?
Well, growing up as a young child, I was always fascinated with horror movies and sci-fi, and so I've been influenced by those types of movies, those genres, and I always wanted to do something, a homage, if you will, to Jason and Michael Myers, which are two of the most infamous slashers on film.
So it is more of a tribute. It's not poking fun at horror or those two characters.
No, it's more of a tribute.
All right.
Indeed.
And which other movies or directors have influenced your style?
I would have to say Alfred Hitchcock. There's a few of them out there. George Lucas, Martin Scorsese. Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. M. Night Shyamalan.
All right. And how long did the entire project take, and what was the process?
Well, the project took too long. Too long indeed. Like, off and on for a period of 4 years. That's how long it took. We took a break after a couple of years. We took a break for about a year, almost two, and then went back to it.
And
Yeah.
what kind of crew did you have, and what kind of equipment did you
It was a
use?
skeleton crew, actually. It was a very small crew. It consisted of, let's see, me, also director. Also, I had some parts where I played Jason and Michael Myers, as well as James Payton, who also played dual roles, and Clarence Aragon. Yeah, so like about three people, four maybe, and my brother had a little part too. Alex Sevilla. That's pretty much it. Skeleton crew.
What kind of equipment did you use, like
Not
for
very
shooting
much.
and editing?
Not very much. We just had a regular, I don't know if it was a high 8 camera, camcorder or something.
I think we had a full-size video VHS camera at first.
Shoot, did we?
Yeah.
Alright, we had that at first. Then we upgraded eventually.
To a Sony camera.
Supermax
To a
surveys
Sony
the skies of East LA
Yeah.
to keep the streets safe
And then
from the
we
Mayapes.
transferred that onto iMac and worked with it on iMovie. And that was pretty much it. It was a decent editing process. It was okay. Got the job done. It's not no Final Cut Pro, but it did have to do at the time.
Okay, and do you only like horror films, or do you have any desire to make other kinds of movies?
That's my favorite genre, I would have to say, horror and thriller, and I like all kinds of genres of films, comedies, dramedies, actions, documentaries. I wouldn't mind making a documentary, or maybe a thriller, or a comedy.
So, pretty much the whole shebang.
Yes, but I like maybe a comedy would probably be next.
All right. Well, do you have any ideas that you'd be able to tell us about for future projects?
I'd like to work on a comedy, maybe get the. Of course, you've heard of the movie, the FREDS series.
Yes.
It's internationally known.
Unbelievable.
Yes. I'd like to continue to get the FREDS together and work on a best of eventually. And maybe working on a FREDS Comedy Hour 4, I think. Yeah. And get that going, because I think we have still have the genius within us to create another movie.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that, certainly. And lastly, Mr. Sevilla, what advice would you give to a 13-year-old boy or girl who told you they wanted to make movies just like you?
I would have to say, stick with your dreams and follow them through, and never give up, and reach for the stars, and eventually you'll get where you want to be. You have to have determination, and that's where the secret end lies.
Okay, well, thank you very much for
And
spending your time with us, Mr. Sevilla.
Then I would have given him a lollipop and invited him into my van. Are we on? Behind the scenes of Orange Tree, with writer-animator Jeff Fletcher.
Nah.
Behind the scenes of Orange Tree. Behind the scenes of Orange Tree, with writer-director, animator Jeff Fletcher.
Hi, Jeff. So what are your favorite cartoons and animated films?
Well, I liked cutout animation by Yuri Norstein and Lot Reiniger and stuff like that. Also the Miyazaki stuff that he does. I don't know, a lot of different kinds.
Alrighty. How did you come up with the concept for Orange Tree?
That was kind of, I don't know, that was like a few years. I was just daydreaming of different things. And just thought about like how orange is also for a fruit and a color. Thought I could make something out of that. But also, my girlfriend at the time was sending me some pictures while I was in Canada, and well, they ended up in the film, and those were kind of inspired the story.
And what programs did you use to make it?
Well, a lot of Photoshop, Final Cut Pro, Flash, but there's also actual paint in there too, but Photoshop was used to get some of the color, but I still use some acrylic paint in there and everything else is hand-drawn.
How long did it take to finish it?
Once I started putting it all together, it was 6 months. That's not including the story stuff though, that took forever. But just once I knew what I was doing, then it was 6 months of drawing, putting it in the computer, coloring it, editing it, adding the sound, and putting the finishing touches on it.
So since the story took forever, it's still not done then, right?
Yeah, I guess that would be true.
And what else were you going to do after that, and like after this project?
Well, I got a bunch of more ideas for short animated films. Trying to figure out how to do them though, if I can get grants or something to get money to do them and get talented people to work on them.
Okay.
So, but I don't know, just a bunch of different ideas I had pop in my head when I'm sitting there daydreaming.
Did it just work out to be 4 minutes, or was it planned to come out to that length of time?
Well, I knew it was going to be long because you kind of test it out first. When you're making the story, you can shoot an animatic where you shoot all the storyboards together and add the sound to it so you can get an idea of how long it's going to be. And I knew it was going to be longer than the typical student film, which is supposed to be like half a minute. But I didn't know it was going to be exactly 4 minutes. Just happened to be like that. It would have been longer if I could, but ran out of time.
And are you presently working for an animation company?
No, right now I'm working for some people. It's not for pay though, but doing concept and storyboard work for these people that are doing a 3D animation that they're going to send off to some festivals. And I did some proposals for the National Film Board of Canada, some competitions to see if they would turn it into a cartoon, and then just personal stuff, personal projects.
Okay, well, if you were working for one, who would you like to work for, and in what area of the animation field?
I don't know. Someone that does something really cool. Something that is
Like Disney or something like that, or?
Yeah, they still do cool stuff, but there's a lot of other different places too where they're doing just as cool stuff, just not on as big a budget.
So not necessarily something like Pixar or Don Bluth or all those.
That would be cool, but as long as I can get the right kind of environment, I don't want to be just like at a factory like in the architecture process where you're just there like a machine kicking stuff out. I want to be able to do some creative stuff. So.
Does that mean you used to be an architect?
Yeah, I used to work for architecture firms. Yeah.
So what are your skills and background in animation then?
Animation. Well, I went to school for it and studied art a lot too, which is good for animation. Drawing, figure drawing, portrait drawing.
Oh yeah? What animation studio did you go to?
I went to Vancouver Film School back in 2001
Oh yeah?
in Canada. Yeah.
Was it fun or?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of different people from all over the world. Really awesome artists and people who want to work with me on personal projects. It was the best thing I ever did for myself to go there and actually spent most of my time in class because I really liked doing it.